Okay. Hello. Hello. Welcome to your practice. Seems like there's a slight delay in the video, so might be helpful to put on your listening hat today, a little bit less of your looking hat, if that makes sense. We're going to lay down on our backs for a few moments, start a little bit of drawing the awareness inward, relaxing the spine, the shoulders and the hips. You just rest your hands on your belly, take a moment to connect with the breath. Let your eyes close if you like. Take a deep breath in through the nose and out through the mouth. Twice more like that, inhaling through the nose and out through the mouth. One more time. Deep breath in. Deep breath out. Let's bend the right knee and just let the thigh move towards the belly without using the hands, and spread the arms out wide. Flex your left toes towards your face. So your right knee is bent, your left leg is straight. We're going to rotate towards that left hip, rolling across. So right leg crossing the body, moving over towards the left. Again, you're just using the legs, the lower half of the body to move, and then come back through center, come back to the back of the pelvis. Squeeze that right thigh towards the chest. And arms are just relaxed off to the sides. Pull that right knee across the body, rolling onto your left hip. You find a little rotation there. And then come back to the back of the pelvis. Let's try that a couple more times, rotating off to your left side. Come back through center. And then this time as you rotate off to the left, just pause there for a moment. You can take your left hand to the outer right thigh if you like. And that right shoulder, it might pop up off the ground a little bit. It's okay if that happens. See if you can take 3 breaths here. Let's start to rotate back through center. One more time, squeeze that right thigh towards the chest without using the arms, and then extend that right leg out long. And just pause here. Breathe in, breathe out. Second side, left knee bends. You're moving that left thigh towards the belly. Arms are staying relaxed and stretched out. The only thing that's going to move the leg across the body is the leg itself and the rotation of the pelvis. So when you're ready, we're going to start to turn onto that right hip. Left knee is crossing the body, moving towards the right side. And then slowly roll onto your back. Keep that bend in the left knee. Stay active through your right leg, even though it's stretched out long. Flex the toes towards the ceiling. Roll off to that right hip. Left knee staying bent. And we'll continue with that just a few more times. You're just rolling in and out of a twist, basically. And so the next time you roll off to your right hip, left knee bent, you're going to pause there for a few breaths. The right hand, it can rest on the outer left thigh if you like. Relaxing your left shoulder as much as possible. Let's take 3 deep breaths. Stretching both the arms out wide, you're going to rotate back through center. So the pelvis is on the mat, squaring, left knee squeezing in towards the chest without the hands one more time. And then extend the left leg out long. Pause here, breathe in. Breathe out. We're gonna meet up on hands and knees and tabletop. You can get there however you like. You can rock the length of your mat. You can roll off to a side and take fetal position. It just kind of depends on how you're feeling today. So meeting up in tabletop. A couple rounds of Chakra Bakasana, which is a way to mobilize the spine similar to cat-cow, but it's slightly different in the approach. So Chakra Bakasana, we'll start with a back bend. Press the chest forward. See if you can keep the low back relatively flat. So just pull the chest forward. It's like you're trying to back bend in your upper back. Okay, and then pressing the floor away, you're rounding the upper back. Little bend in the elbows, forearms and elbows come to the mat first, and then hips move to the heels into child's pose. So we'll do that a few more times. We'll inhale and pull the heart forward. Low back remains relatively flat, navel's hugging into the spine. The back bend is targeted in the upper back, chest presses forward. Press the floor away, round the spine, bend the elbows towards the mat, sink the hips towards the heels. Twice more, inhale forward, chest forward, heart lifts. And exhale, press the hands round the back, elbows to the mat, hips to the heels. Just one more time on your own. Big breath in to come forward. Breath out to come back. And we'll inhale here, we'll stand up on our knees. So you're just kneeling on your knees, both hands to the low back. We'll take the left arm out to the side and take the gaze over to the right. So you're stretching straight out through your left arm and looking over your right. And then exhale, both hands to the low back. As you stretch your right arm out to the side, look over your left shoulder. Both hands to the back. And a couple times we'll switch sides, left arm out, looking right. Hands to the back. Right arm out, looking left. Hands to the back. We'll add on to this. So we did this last week. Hands are just going to gently rest at the small of the back as you lean forward, hinging from the hips, turning your gaze over towards your right. So it's kind of like you're in an active child's pose. And then stand up on the knees, on the shins. Breathe in. Hinging forward, looking left. We'll continue side to side with the rhythm of the breath. Inhale, standing up on the knees. You're gazing forward as you come up, and then as you exhale, you'll rotate your gaze to your right. Inhale, stand up on the knees. And then exhale, look over towards your left. And then stand up, release. The hands will come forward onto the belly. We'll add on a little bit of back flossing. So like you would set up low cobra, palms underneath the elbows. So they're a little bit farther back than the chest. Forehead resting on the mat to start. Press into both of your feet. Inhale, lift the heart. And then on your exhale, turn your gaze over your right shoulder, left cheek to the mat. Inhale, lift up. The gaze is down. The neck is neutral. And then on your exhale, look left, right cheek to the mat. Let's continue with that. Inhale, lift up, neck is neutral. Exhale, look right, cheek to the mat. Inhale, press up through neutral. Exhale, look left. One more time to each side. Come back up, lift up through center. And then exhale as you lower, this time forehead to the mat, chin tucks into the chest. You can stack your hands right underneath your forehead. Rest here for about 3 breaths. Sometimes it feels nice to pick up the feet and sway them side to side. It can be a nice release for the low back. So a lot of rotation, you'll see a lot of rotation, in particular targeting the upper thoracic region. That's basically the middle and upper back today. Let's bring the palms underneath the shoulders, press up to hands and knees, curl the toes under. Let's settle into downward facing dog. So place a bend, a generous bend in both of your knees in your down dog. Generous bend in both knees. And then feel your tailbone scoop under, like your tailbone's pointing towards the backs of your knees and you're hollowing out the pit of your belly. Press strongly into the hands, strong arms. See if you can keep all of that, and then maybe you start to lengthen out through the backs of the legs, heels moving towards the mat. Deep breath in. Deep breath out. Start to walk your hands back to meet your feet. We're coming into a forward fold at the back of the mat. Uttanasana. Again, be generous with your back body. Bend your knees. Bend your knees. Head heavy. Okay, so we're going to add on a little sequence here. We're going to inhale, walk the hands forward. We're going to lengthen out into high plank for just a moment. Feel that length through the spine. Shift forward onto the tippy toes in your high plank. And then roll to the ball mounds of the feet. Walk the hands back. Uttanasana, your forward fold at the back of the mat. Start to turn the toes out, heels in, bend your knees, sink your hips. Not malasana, a little bit higher. Right fingertips underneath the face. Rotate your left arm off to the side, maybe towards the ceiling. So you're finding rotation in the upper back. Replace that left hand, and then right arm sweeps out, wide, and maybe up. And then right fingertips back to the mat. Lift the chest. You can point the toes forward if you like. Stretch the arms forward and up. Uttanasana. Press down into your feet. Stand up tall. And as you reach the arms up and overhead, maybe you layer on a little bit of a back bend. You could look up. You could press the chest forward. Your biceps can move back behind your ears. We'll exhale, bend the knees, and we'll fold back in. So we'll repeat that from your forward fold. Walk your hands out into high plank. Let's move to high plank. And once you get to high plank, shift forward onto those tippy toes. Feel your body lengthen out. Rock the weight back to the ball mounds of the feet. Walk the hands back to meet the feet. Forward fold. Find that squat with your toes out, your heels slightly in. Bend the knees, sink the hips. We'll rotate to the left arm out to the side, maybe up to the ceiling. Bring that left hand back down, rotate to the right. Bring the right hand back down. Toes point forward. Lift your chest, lift your arms, Uttanasana. Press down to stand up here. As you reach tall and breathe in, maybe layer on that back bend. Exhale, we'll fold right back in. One more time through this. Walking the hands out into high plank. Pause in your high plank, shift forward onto those tippy toes. I want you to shift forward onto the tippy toes so you can feel the thigh muscles engage. And then back to the ball mounds of the feet. Hands walk back. Turn those toes slightly out, bend the knees, sink the hips. Left arm sweeps out to the side, maybe rotates up. Thoracic rotation. Second side, right arm off to the side and up. Bring that right hand back down. You can turn the toes forward here. Find that squat, that chair pose, Uttanasana. Press down into the feet. Let's stand up. Little back bend. And then just relax the hands. We'll step the right foot forward and spin that left heel down. We're going to work our way in kind of like a warrior one-like shape with the legs. It doesn't need to be a super deep lunge. We're going to focus more on still the spine and the upper body thoracic region. So a little bend in that right knee. Stay rooted through that left foot and heel. And then feel like this sensation of kind of hugging your navel into your spine and tucking your tailbone under here. Turn your chest forward. Just rest your hands at your heart here. Deep breath in. Deep breath out. So notice what's going on in the legs right now. Can you keep that? And then we'll add on some arms. We'll inhale, elbows wide. Can you get the fingertips spinning back behind you, opening the chest and kind of lifting the elbows? And then exhale the hands back to the heart. So we'll just do that a few times. Inhale, elbows wide. Chest presses forward. Elbows slightly lift. Fingertips kind of spinning behind you. Hands to the heart. Twice more. Inhale, elbows open. And then exhale, hands to the heart. And as I bring my hands to the heart, I'm kind of rounding in here. I'm kind of like lengthening out through that back leg, kind of tucking my chin in. One more time, let's open the elbows wide, press the chest forward. Hands to heart. Press that right leg towards straight. We're gonna kind of shorten the stance a little bit and move that right foot in towards the center of the mat, setting up for a variation of Trikonasana. Not your traditional Trikonasana. I'm going to show you what we'll do differently. So the right hand, and if you're facing me, I'm not mirroring you, right? So I'm using my right leg forward. My right hand's going to move just like down to the shin area. Again, I'm not looking for a deep Trikonasana. The left arm or the top arm is it's almost like you're hitchhiking backward. Palms rotating up and it's spinning back behind you. So there's a rotation through the upper chest and back. And then we'll press back up to straight with the arms, spin the palms both to face down. So Trikonasana in and out, right hand down towards the shin, spin that left palm up, thumb behind you, and kind of rotate from the upper chest. Press into your feet, stand up, Trikonasana, reversing out of that. And then exhale, let's move forward into this variation, spinning the palm up, thumb behind you. And we're going to pause here and I'll show you how to add on from here. Little micro bend in that right knee. Sweep that left palm down and forward and then rotating it up and overhead. And reversing that left palm down and back, palm spins up, thumb points back behind you. So we're just taking that Trikonasana variation and adding on left arm down, forward, up and overhead, and then reversing that down, back, palm spins up, left thumb pointing behind you. Let's do that twice more. Inhale, left arm overhead. And then exhale, left arm sweeps behind you, palm facing up. So one more time through. Inhale. And exhale. And then let's use this to come up and out of Trikonasana. See if you can just step to the back of your mat, pushing off of your right foot, standing with your feet parallel. Let's fold right into Uttanasana. You can take your hands down the outer legs. Maybe the hands kind of circle around the backs of the ankles. Bend your knees enough that your belly can get to your thighs. Relax your head. Deep breath in. Deep breath out. From here, we'll walk forward into high plank. Just like you've done before, shift forward onto the tippy toes. Roll back to the ball mounds. Walk the hands back to the feet. Turning the toes out, heels in, bend the knees, sink the hips. Find that lateral rotation, left arm off to the side and reaching up. And then the right side. And then back through center, toes point forward. Uttanasana, chair pose. Lift the arms, the chest. Press down, stand up. Breathe in. Relax your arms. Left foot steps forward. A pretty modest step forward. We're not looking for that deep lunge today. This is more about the upper back, just a reminder. Little bend in that left knee. Be sure you can comfortably keep that right heel grounded, rooted. There's almost like this tucking of the tailbone under and lengthening out of the low back. Hands rest at the heart. Breathe in here. Just getting a sense of your legs. Let's add on the arms. Inhale, elbows wide. Kind of point them forward as the fingertips spin back and the chest lifts. So the legs stay as they are. Hands come back to the heart. Like you're kind of rounding the chin into the chest. A couple times like that. Inhale. Open the chest, open the elbows. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Twice more. And then one last time, open up. Big breath into the chest. Hands back to the heart. Let's straighten out through that left leg. We're going to rotate our feet for Trikonasana. That's a very mild Trikonasana, so feet are closer together. It's not a huge, deep side bend. This is more about rotation for the upper back. So left fingertips down towards the shin. And then the right arm's the palm's gonna sweep up towards the ceiling and rotate back behind you. Thumb's pointing back behind you, palm is facing up, right hand. Come back up to Trikonasana, or out of Trikonasana rather. So you're just standing upright, arms are stretching out wide, palms face down. Let's come back into that variation of Trikonasana. Palm rotates up, thumb presses behind you. Left fingertips really lightly just dangling towards the shin bone. Stand back up, arms wide, palms face down. Twice more. Moving forward and down, Trikonasana. Not too far forward, just a little bit. Stand back up with the torso, lift the crown of the head, palms face down. And then we'll come back to Trikonasana with this variation, right palm facing up. And we'll add on, right arm rotates down towards the mat, forward and then up and overhead. Little bend in that left knee. Start to move the right arm down and back, rotate the palm to face up, thumb behind you, opening across that right chest. A couple more times. Right arm down, forward and overhead. Sweep it back, rotate the palm to face up, open the chest, twice more. See if you can utilize your breath here to move in and out of this shape with the arms. At the same time, notice what's happening in the legs and the core, what's going on with the breath. Let's come back up to standing. And then see if you can just step that left foot back to the back of the mat. Inhale, arms sweep out wide, reach up. And then exhale, hands alongside the legs, the hips. Glide the hands down as you fold forward. Bend your knees. You can circle the hands around the backs of the ankles or the calves. You're bending your knees enough to get the belly to rest on the thighs. Head is heavy here. Take a few moments just to breathe in your fold. Let's one more time walk ourselves out into high plank. Shift forward onto the tippy toes. Roll back to the ball mounds of the feet. Set your knees to the mat. We're going to come all the way to the back here. So you're coming onto your back body, back of the pelvis, shoulders, back of the head resting. And then just start to hug the knees into the chest. And just curl your hands over the tops of the knees and then let your arms go to straight. And then bend your elbows, hugging your knees into your chest. And then let your arms go straight. This should feel pretty good on the low back and the back of the pelvis. A little bit of a release for the back body. A couple more times like this. Good. So the next time you bend your knees in towards the chest, the elbows are bent, circle your hands around the backs of the knees, press the feet up towards the ceiling, flex your toes towards your face, and then let that knees bend and pull them in towards the chest. We'll do that a few times. So the arms will go straight as the legs go straight, feet reaching for the ceiling, toes curl towards your face. And then everything bends, knees, elbows, hug the thighs into the chest. And continue. Inhale, press the feet up. Exhale, hug the knees into the chest. Twice more. Good. From here, I invite you to take happy baby or any other shape that's calling your name for your last asana. I'm going to start to set up for our Shavasana. Shavasana is a word that means corpse pose, and it's something we do at the end of each class, ideally for 5 minutes if you have more time. In these short 30-minute classes, I dedicate at least 1 minute of silence to this, but I always invite you to stay for longer. This is where we get to integrate everything we've learned about our practice, all of the work we've done in the body. If it's comfortable to you in your body, you can start to lengthen out into Shavasana. If that's not comfortable, use any props. You can sit up straight in like a meditation. You could take your legs up the wall. The purpose is to allow yourself to become still, become silent. Relax your shoulders away from your ears. Slightly tilt your chin in towards your chest. Take a deep breath in through the nose. Open your mouth, exhaling the air out. Feel your whole body soften. Relax, relax, relax. 1 minute here. If you have more time, please feel free to stay. Otherwise, start to awaken fingertips and toes. You can move your head side to side. You can stretch your arms overhead. When you're ready, rolling off to a side, pressing up to the hands, and we'll just take a moment to close out our practice. Maybe you join your hands at the heart. You could rest your hands flat at the heart, whatever you like, bowing your chin into your chest. With reverence and gratitude to the practice, we use the fruits to serve our highest good. May we share it with those around us that we love and who could use healing. May we remember to send love and healing to all sentient beings around the world that may be suffering. May they be happy. May they be free. Namaste, yogis. All right, everyone. Thank you so much. I hope you enjoyed. Have a wonderful day. Take care of yourselves. Until next time, be well.